Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Spiritual American. My name is Dr. Ann O'Hare, and I'm your host. And as you can see, we have a special guest here today, my good friend, Karen Perusse. Hi, Karen.
Hi, and thanks for having me.
I'm very happy to have you here today. Karen is a longtime practitioner of Raj Yoga meditation, 28 years plus of meditation practice and study. And she's also a spiritual life coach, specializing in helping women and in relationships. So, welcome, Karen, to the program.
Thank you so much.
So, our topic today is opening your heart, open your heart. And what
Mhm.
I'd like to do is just start off with you talking about what it is you do as a spiritual life coach, because I think it perfectly fits into the topic. And I just
Mhm.
want to give you the floor and just describe a little bit about what you do and how you help women, especially, but how you help people in relationships.
Right. Thank you so much, Anne. So, this actually came out of my own personal experience of being in a bad marriage and then years later getting into another bad relationship. And so, I really had to look within about what is it that I am doing to attract this type of relationship and to enable this kind of behavior. And so, I had to do a lot of deep soul searching and now that I've gotten to the other side of that and really restored my own self respect, because I feel like that's the number one thing to open my heart to is to myself. And so getting to the other side of that, then I want to share that knowledge and help other women who are struggling in a bad relationship that is just, dragging their heart through the mud.
So, what do you think if you were talking, like, what would be the first kind of steps that you would take with someone? And what would be a good match for your service? What kind of person, what kind of situation would be a good match? If anybody's listening out here, how would they know if they're a good candidate to work with you?
So the perfect candidate would be someone who's trying to decide whether to stay in the relationship or go. Someone who is in a relationship that they don't feel that who they are is being honored. They're feeling disrespected. They're feeling like they have to play it small for the sake of the relationship. And so that would be the ideal. And what I do is help women connect with their own inner wisdom. Because within the soul, within our true spiritual being, there is a place of wisdom. And that wisdom is there to guide us. But as women, we are often raised to seek other people's opinions and to live by other people's standards. And so we are trained through life to listen outside instead of listen within. And so that's part of what I do is to teach women to listen to and to trust their own inner wisdom and to let that be their guide and to return to that place of self-respect.
How long do you work with people? What is the common amount of time that you would work with someone?
It could be anywhere from 10 weeks to years
Hmm.
because it depends on what you want to invest in the journey. Like, do you just want to get through the moment or do you want to keep going on? Because here's what happens. You solve the relationship, you get out of that and you go, whoo, okay, I made it. And the next thing you know, now it's happening at work. Now there's something else coming up. And then you're like, wait a minute, I thought I solved this. How am I back in the same situation? Because as humans, there's layers, right? And as soon as you peel back one layer, well, there's another layer. And so it's a journey. It's not a snap done, solved, over. It is a journey.
So, to the point of the topic today, open your heart. I was also in a relationship, a prior marriage that was not good for me. And I didn't even know that my heart was closed. I knew I was not happy and I knew I was in pain, but I didn't even realize that I had the potential to express myself authentically and express myself truly into the world. I like what you said about having to ask other people and feeling like you don't even know. It's just so ingrained that it doesn't
Mhm.
even feel like I'm asking. It just feels like this is what I do. It's so automatic that I wouldn't even notice that I'm doing it. It's all the time. It's every time. The idea of taking my own counsel wasn't even on the menu.
Right, right.
So, I mean, for me, I know I'm a practitioner of Raj Yoga meditation as well. So I know that this process brings you back to my self-respect. And part of the hurdles were to be able to trust myself. And then past that is the opening your heart. So can you talk a little bit about what is it like to begin to trust yourself? What happens and what are the pitfalls? Like, is this a place where people quit? Is this a place where the old stuff comes back? And then what happens after that? Where does the opening of the heart begin in the process?
Right. So I feel like there's three main steps in learning to trust your own inner wisdom. The first step is to recognize the voice of your wisdom because we have a lot of chatter going on inside our head and it's all coming from different places. So step one would be to recognize, oh, this is the voice of my inner wisdom. The second part is to quiet the mind down enough so that your wisdom gets a word in edgewise because your mind is constantly right? And so when I say quiet mind down enough, what you want to do is to be able to hold on to an elevated spiritual thought for a few seconds. So if I were to think, I am a peaceful soul. So I'm able to hold that thought without getting distracted for a good couple of seconds. So that's what I mean by slowing the mind down. And then the third step, which is a huge step, is trusting that inner wisdom. Because very often we have so many habits. Our thoughts are habitual. How we handle relationships is habitual. How we handle adversity, all of that is habitual. And your inner wisdom is going to want to take you out of that comfort zone and say, let's handle things a little bit different. And so it's a big step to trust that. But I think that is also a big step to learning to trust yourself and to come back to self-respect.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, when you do the coaching,
Mm-hmm.
are you working with people? I mean, I've done coaching before, and it seems like coaching is like the person is using you as a way to reflect a situation, let's say, and then you're bringing in another level of understanding. And then because it's a situation that's actually happening, it kind of brings realization or transformation. Is that kind of how you work it with the clients?
Yes, yes. And a
Mhm.
lot of it is looking at old patterns because
Mm.
believe it or not, and unfortunately, we tend to attract the pain that we are comfortable with. And so if you really study it, whatever emotions are coming up in your relationship are probably very familiar to you that you suffered as a child. And so you are finding people that are going to trigger those emotions for you. And so
And
part of that
why
is
would we do that
recognizing,
though? So
huh?
tell me, why would we do that though? I mean, I
Because
kind of know the answer, but kind of the answer, but why? Well, I mean, just for the sake of somebody who's watching this, like, and they're listening to you, and maybe they're not aware, right? Maybe they're not fully aware that they're doing that. Why would somebody keep going after the painful thing? Why would we
right,
do that?
because we absolutely would not do it if we were aware.
Right.
But
Right. Nobody would do it in their right mind. So why is it that we keep doing that?
okay, I think there's a couple of things going on here. One is that it's comfortable, it's familiar. And part of it is our own self image of what I feel like I'm worthy of. Part of it is our thoughts about ourselves create a vibration. And every soul has their own vibration. And so, other souls, there's this very subtle thing going on between souls that you're sending out this signal of this is my pain, this is my hurt. And the right person that's going to supply that pain and hurt is picking up on that signal. And we feel somewhere on some level that there's a match going on there.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and then like there's pain and it's like, it's confusing, isn't it? It's confusing.
That's why we need, that's why I
It's
have a
what,
job, right?
yeah.
Because it is confusing and it helps to have somebody help walk you through that. It's very hard to walk alone.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And then just to bring it to the opening of the heart piece, what happens after you work some of this out? What does it mean to open your heart? And what does it mean to come out on the other side of this, of these scenarios? Because I think that there's so many people, it's not just relationships, although that's kind of pretty common and
Right.
deep because it's at work, it's your own
Yes.
self-image, it's with
Yes.
other friends, it's with your family. So it's all over. So what is it like once we commit and started working these things out? What is there an opening that happens? Describe what happens as the positive outcome. And how does that, if we want to say opening your heart, like how does that translate into that?
Okay, so let me first start with what's going to happen if you don't.
Mm,
Because like you said, it's everywhere. It's work, it's friendships, it's family members, it's neighbors. So if you choose not to heal and just to reject the person and to blame them, it's all them and it had nothing to do with me, I'm the victim here. What happens is that situation is going to come back in some other shape or form. So even if you decide not to get into another relationship, it's going to come up from somewhere. So somewhere at some point, you're going to have to look within and do the healing. And what comes out on the other side is so much strength.
mm,
And I know we keep harping on self-respect, but that it's not a small thing. Self-respect is huge. And I feel like if I had one gift to give the world, it would be self-respect because so much goodness and so much positivity comes out of being able to stand in your own self-respect, being able to look in the mirror and like who you see.
I want to add something to that. I was talking to somebody yesterday about self-respect. And, we're both Raj yogis. We're both in spirituality and we teach spiritual knowledge and so forth. So we get into these conversations.
Mhm.
And I was talking to somebody and we were talking about self-respect. And asked the person, well, what do you think self-respect is? Or what is because I was talking about service, but we're not talking about service in this episode specifically, but I was talking about what's the connection between service and self-respect. And actually, we can put it into service. We can just say actions. Like, what's
Mhm.
the connection between actions and self respect? And I said to the person, you begin to feel proud of yourself.
Mhm.
So, can anybody who's listening right now, can you say that you're proud of yourself? Being proud of something usually has to do with action or how you're showing up. I'm
Mhm.
proud of you that you were able to do that. I'm proud of you for working so hard. I'm proud of you. There's action involved and it's provable to you. So, does that kind of fit into what you're talking about? Like, as the person goes through this process, their actions are changing and they start to feel a little bit like we're calling it self respect, but do you begin to feel proud of yourself like on the other side of this? I think so.
Yes, but I feel like there's a difference between being proud of yourself by what's on the outside. I am proud of myself because of my accomplishments. I'm a proud of myself because of the car I drive or, these outside things. But this is really coming within. And I'm proud of myself because of the person that I am
Mm,
because I have realized my own value and what I have to share with the world, my virtues, my qualities, my own inner beauty. And that is true self respect. When I realize what I've come to this world to share and how special that is. And I feel like when you are full of that, then you are less needy on the outside. You don't need people to praise you. You don't need people to agree with you. You don't need to please people and to be a
mhm.
doormat because you are so full of who you are and feel so good about yourself within.
Beautiful. So, hopefully, this has been an interesting talk for everyone listening today. I want to thank Karen so much for joining us today. Her information is in the description below, and her website and on Facebook and on website is called Spiritual Breakup Solutions. And you can get a coaching
You can
session
get
with
a,
her.
yes.
Can you say what it is, Karen? What is the first contact with you like?
So on my website, you can sign up for a free heart clarity call.
That's what I was trying to remember the words to.
Okay. Yes, a free heart clarity call where we can just talk to each other, and you can tell me a little bit about what's going on, and I can tell you a little bit about what my methods are, and we can just see if we're a good match for each other. So that way, there's nothing to lose.
Mhm. Great. So, everyone, if you're interested in this and this feels like something that maybe you could benefit from, Karen's information is in the description below. And again, I want to thank you, Karen, very much for being here. It's always nice to have you. And this was a great topic and very, very important. And both of us have been through this.
Yes, yes. And I'm sure we're not alone.
No, we're definitely not. And so we're broadcasting those vibrations now. We're
Right.
on
And
the
I
other
feel like it's
side,
not
you
just
know?
women. It's not just women. A lot of men have been through this too.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because everyone can get into a situation like this. And this inner reflection and transformation is available for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
we'll end it there. Remember, our slogan is heal, empower, and serve. And until next time, take care, everyone. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you, Anne.
All righty. Bye bye.
Bye.